All right, Logan Manzanares here with Big Sky Barbell, the only personal training gym in Bozeman. Today, we're going to talk about the BOSU ball. We're going to talk about why it's one of the biggest wastes of money and the biggest waste of your time in the gym. All right. So first thing we want to talk about with this is we want to talk about, again, why are you in the gym? All right, what is your reasoning for going into the gym and presumably lifting weights? Okay, so for this we're going to have three different kinds of people. And the first one is a group that I get a lot, and it's the young athletes, it's the young kids. All right, and so when you're a young athlete and you're a young kid who's playing sports, and you're going in the gym to lift weights, presumably to help you with your sport, then your main goal is to become the best athlete that you possibly can be from the gym. All right. So what entails a good athlete? Well, good athletes generally are all strong. Good athletes are generally all fast, and generally good athletes are all big. All right. Bigger, faster, stronger. Ever heard that before? All right. So now when we're talking about these young athletes, the principle for getting bigger, for getting faster, for getting stronger is essentially overload. All right. That's why we go to the gym, is to create this this stimulus that we could not get anywhere else. You know, you're never going to get big and strong by sitting on the couch watching American Idol. All right. You're never going to become a good athlete by sitting there watching every single Packers game that's on TV. All right. So we go to the gym to create this stimulus. So the more stimulus we can provide in the gym, the more adaptation that we can create. All right. So what BOSU ball training does, this is like squatting on a BOSU ball or doing push-ups on a BOSU ball or just flat out doing anything on a BOSU ball or some sort of unstable surface, is we lose this overload. All right, we have a deficiency in this overload. So instead of being able to create these, these forces with these heavier weights, we now are limited to these smaller weights and these smaller forces, because we put in this unstable surface, and we're never going to create a great adaptation from that. All right. So if you want to hinder your athlete's performance, put him on a BOSU ball. If you never want to see him get strong, put him on a BOSU ball. If you never want to see him get any faster, put him on a BOSU ball. All right. Now let's move on to the next category, which is the average gym goer. All right. So these are people who, generally speaking, want to gain muscle, and we'll leave it at that for today. They want to gain muscle. All right. So if you're in the gym and your purpose is not to gain muscle, then don't go to the gym. You're gonna do way better off just sitting at home, not getting muscle, than you are trying to go to the gym to not gain muscle. All right. So the principle for gaining muscle, again, is the same as in the other example, is overload. If you want your muscular system to adapt, you must create the stimulus. All right. Again, the same principle applies to the average gym goer as does to the high school kid. Is that if you're trying not to get muscle, then use a BOSU ball. But if you're trying to stress your body, you want it to gain muscle, and you want it to gain it as quickly as it possibly can, then you need to create this overload. All right. And then for the last example is performance athletes. And if you're a performance athlete, you should already know this, because if you've got strong in the past, it wasn't because you used a BOSU ball, right? And performance athletes are people like powerlifters and weightlifters and CrossFitters whose goal are to lift the most amount of weight or do it in a specific amount of time. All right. So now the last part of this is people talk about balance work. All right. They want specific balance work, so they use these to create general balance. Well, the problem with using, the BOSU ball to create general balance to, make you a better snatcher, or to make you better on the football field, or to make you a better gymnast, is that it's general balance. So to say that it's not going to help you at all is probably not correct. But to say that it's the best thing to make you a better snatcher, or to make you better on the football field or basketball court, or to make you a better gymnast is definitely not right either. So in order to become good at those sports, you need to practice, things that the demands of that sport. So for a gymnast, this is a good example, is if you're a balance beamer, I'm not exactly sure what they call this, but people who use the beams, practicing walking across those beams would be a good balance for you. That's very specific to your sport. Practicing your jumps and your flips, all that kind of stuff on a balance beam would be great balance work for you, because that is your sport. For a football player, your best form of balance work is just to get stronger. The stronger that you are, same as a basketball player, the stronger that your structure is, the stronger your musculature is, the less likely you're going to get knocked over, and the more force you're going to be able to put into the ground, whether you're running, jumping, or doing whatever the demands for your sport are. So that's a kind of a brief description of why the BOSU ball training is by far one of the worst things you can possibly do for young athletes, if you're or an average gym goer or a performance athlete. So if you have a BOSU ball, take a knife, stab it, throw it away, don't talk about it, and move on with your life. All right, hope you guys learned something today. You're welcome.